The life and sad ending of Bobby Vinton. Bobby Vinton was born Stanley Robert Bobby Vinton on April 16, 1935, in Canonsburg, Pennsylvania, the only child of locally popular bandleader Stan Vinton and Dorothy Studzinski Vinton. He is of Polish and Lithuanian descent. The family surname was originally Vintula and was changed by Vinton's father. Vinton's parents encouraged their son's interest in music by giving him his daily 25-cent allowance after he had practiced the clarinet. At 16, Vinton formed his first band, which played clubs around the Pittsburgh area. With the money he earned, he helped finance his college education at Duquesne University, where he graduated with a degree in musical composition. Vinton and his wife, Dolores Dolly Dobbin, have been married since December 17, 1962. They reside in Florida and have 5 children. Robert. In 2015, after contracting a serious case of shingles, Bobby retired from live performing and recording. According to his autobiography, Bobby was inspired to record his music by the Elvis Presley movie Jailhouse Rock. He formed his own record label, Bobby Records, in October 1958. His first release was Twilight Time, backed with Hallelujah. Bobby sang on the B-side of the 45 RPM release, making this his first commercially released vocal recording. This record did not chart. In March 1959, Bobby recorded for the Melody label out of Philadelphia, listed as Bobby Vinton and his orchestra for the first time. His release of Harlem Nocturne, backed with Always in My Heart with a vocal by Bobby, attracted attention in Pennsylvania. His Young Man with a Big Band style was established here, and Always in My Heart would be a song he would return to. In August 1959, Bobby moved to another larger record company, Alpine Records. He released 2 self-written singles for Alpine, the first being You'll Never Forget, backed by The First Impression. The second Alpine release was A Freshman and a Sophomore, backed with the self-written The Chic. This was released in February 1960. Both Alpine releases garnered Billboard magazine mentions. After 2 years of service in the United States Army, where he served as a chaplain's assistant, Vinton was signed to Epic Records in 1960 as a bandleader, a young man with a big band. On March 20, 1961, his first Epic Records single was released. Titled Little Lonely One and credited to Bobby Vinton, it was backed with Careen Carina, credited to Bobby Vinton and his orchestra. Despite the big label backing, the single was not successful, and 2 albums, Bobby Vinton Dancing at the Hop and Bobby Vinton Plays for His Lil Darlings, did not sell well. With Epic ready to drop him from its roster, Vinton found his first hit single literally sitting in a reject pile. The song was titled Roses Are Red. Vinton had to do his own promotion for the song. He bought 1,000 copies and hired a young woman to deliver a copy of the record and a dozen red roses to every local DJ. It spent 4 weeks at number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100. The song was also a hit on the country and R&B charts. The success of the song pushed Epic to renew Vinton's contract and change his status from bandleader to solo singer. Arguably, Vinton's most famous song is 1963's Blue Velvet, originally a minor hit for Tony Bennett in 1951, that also spent 3 weeks at the number 1 positions in Billboard, Cashbox, and Record World magazines. In 1964, Vinton had 2 number 1 hits, There, I've Said It Again and Mr. Lonely. Vinton's version of There, I've Said It Again is noteworthy for being the last U.S. Billboard number 1 single of the pre-Beatles era, deposed from the Hot 100 summit by I Want to Hold Your Hand. Also noteworthy is the fact that Vinton continued to have big hit records during the British invasion, scoring 16 top 10 hits, while Connie Francis, Ricky Nelson, the Shirelles, and other major artists of the early 1960s struggled to reach even the top 40. Vinton wrote and composed Mr. Lonely during his chaplain's assistant service in the U.S. Army in the late 1950s. The song was recorded during the same 1962 session that produced Roses Are Red, and the two songs launched Vinton's singing career. It was released as an album track on the 1962 Roses Are Red LP. Despite pressure from Vinton to release it as a single, Epic instead had Buddy Greco release it, and it flopped. 2 years and millions of records sold later, Bobby prevailed on Epic to include Mr. Lonely on his Bobby Vinton's Greatest Hits LP. Soon DJs picked up on the song and airplay resulted in demand for a single release. Mr. Lonely shot up the charts in the late fall of 1964 to reach number 1 on the Hot 100 on 12 December 1964. Epic then released the LP Bobby Vinton Mr. Lonely, giving the song a unique claim to fame since it now appeared on 3 Bobby Vinton albums released within 2 years. The song continued to spin gold for Vinton, its author-composer, in the 45 years to the date since reaching number 1. Harmony Korine named his 2007 film Mr. Lonely after the latter and features the song in the film's opening, and it was also the basis for Akon's 2005 hit, Lonely. Vinton appeared in 7 acting roles during his singing career, commencing with the Beach Party movie Surf Party in 1964. In 1965, he played George Reynolds in the episode Patty and the Newspaper Game on ABC's sitcom, The Patty Duke Show. He was cast as Jeff McCandles in the 1971 John Wayne film Big Jake and as Ben Young in another Wayne film, The Train Robbers. In 1965, Vinton continued his lonely success streak with the self-written Lonely. Long Lonely Nights peaked at number 12 and spawned an album, Bobby Vinton Sings for Lonely Nights. Vinton's self-written 1966 hit Coming Home Soldier hit number 11 on the Hot 100 and was a favorite on request shows on the American Forces Network during the Cold War and Vietnam era, often called in by soldiers about to board the Freedom Bird that would take them back to the land of the round doorknobs. Vinton's lush 1967 remake of Please Love Me Forever, which reached number 6 and sold over 1 million copies, began his string of 12 consecutive hits, all remakes, over a little less than 5.5 years to reach the Hot 100. His 1968 hit I Love How You Love Me surged to number 9, sold over 1 million copies, and was awarded a gold record by the RIAA. In the 1970s, Bobby Vinton continued to hit the top 40, notably with Every Day of My Life, a 2 adult contemporary hit also awarded the Jukebox Single of the Year award, which was produced by Jimmy Bowen and CBS recording engineer Jim Reeves, which peaked at number 24 on 29 April 1972, and sealed with a Kiss hitting number 19 on 19th to 26 August 1972. Despite the success of the 2 hits, Epic Records decided to drop Vinton from his contract the next year, claiming that his days of selling records were over. Undeterred, Vinton spent $50,000 of his own money on My Melody of Love, partially self-written and partially sung in Polish. The suggestion for the song came from Vinton's mother. After 6 major labels turned Vinton down, ABC Records bought Vinton's idea, and the result was a multi-million selling single of simple lyrics that hit number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100, number 2 on the Cashbox Top 100 chart, and number 1 on the AC chart in 1974. A gold album, Melodies of Love, followed as well as one final top 40 pop hit. Vinton would go on to record an additional 4 albums for ABC Records, 3 of which hit the Billboard Hot 200 Albums chart. Epic Records rediscovered Vinton in the wake of his newfound success, releasing 2 albums of previously recorded material, both of which hit the top album charts. In addition, in a throwback to his career start in the 50s, he self-produced 2 albums on his own Rexford label. Both were bestsellers and one, Party Music, went platinum. In 1975, Vinton exploded onto televisions across the United States and Canada with a successful half-hour variety show. The Bobby Vinton Show, which aired from 1975 to 1978 and used My Melody of Love as its theme song. ABC Records subsequently released an album of songs performed on the show. In 1978, Vinton wrote his autobiography, titled The Polish Prince, which became a bestseller. In the same year, CBS TV aired Bobby Vinton's Rock 'n' Rollers, a one-hour special that achieved top ratings. Billboard magazine called Bobby Vinton the all-time most successful love singer of the rock era. From 1962 to 1972, Vinton had more Billboard #1 hits than any other male vocalist, including Elvis Presley and Frank Sinatra. In recognition of his recording career, Vinton was awarded a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, located at 6916 Hollywood Boulevard. Vinton's alma mater, Duquesne University, awarded him an honorary doctorate in music in 1978. In 1986, 23 years later, David Lynch named his movie Blue Velvet after the song. In 1990, Blue Velvet reached number 2 in the UK singles chart, after being featured in a Nivea commercial. The 1990 reissue also hit number 3 in the Irish singles chart and number 7 in Australia. In 2011, Grammy Award winner Jimmy Sturr and his orchestra recorded the Polish Prince song, A Tip of the Hat to Vinton, and included it on their Grammy-nominated Not Just Another Polka CD. The song was written by Johnny Prill and was based on the 1978 autobiography The Polish Prince, Bobby Vinton. Bobby Vinton is now 85 years old age, not in health as before. Each time his experience is an accumulation, stumbling is just training. If there is no pain, how can we learn to be resilient? If we are not disappointed, how do we learn to cope? Each of us human life needs to think a little simple, what will inevitably happen? Live as yourself, be happy, then live in life. People, if you want to receive the trust from others, be honest. If you want to be honest, you must be honest. Want to be honest must be yourself.